Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video I wanted to talk about a topic that I find to be really interesting to me, and it is the process of choosing a character for you in a fighting game. This is something that many people struggle against, especially if you are a newcomer and you just boot up the game and you find so many characters and you have no idea which characters to choose from. It can be really hard, and the process is a little bit different between newcomers and experienced players. So I wanted to shed some light on my own process and how do I end up choosing the characters that I play. For me, it comes down to four attributes. It comes down to first the aesthetics, the looks of the character. The second part for me is the general play style of that character. The third thing is the character strengths in relation to my own strengths as a player. And the fourth thing is the character weaknesses and how I can deal with them. And for me, this is very interesting because aesthetics, of course, is very subjective, right? Everyone has their own opinion, everyone has their own likings. I like to play characters who I think are cool. So, for example, someone like Cody, I find to be such a cool character. I find Ken to be a cool character. Of course, attractive ladies are also very interesting to me. For example, someone like Chun Li, I really like Chun Li. I like Poison. I like some characters based on aesthetics, like for example, someone like Mika. So there are a lot here that go through with this. It's very subjective. Everyone has their own opinion, but for me at least, I have to like the characters that I am playing or have something about them that I like, right? For me, it is like, do I like this character? Is it tolerable? Or I just don't like them. And there are some characters that I just don't like. Like for example, for no reason, or I have my own reasons, but for example, I just don't like Karen. I know I can do really well if I played Karen. Karen will fit my playstyle. I just don't like her, and that's why I never try to play that character. And every time I try to pick up Karen, I ended up dropping her in 10 or 15 minutes because I just can't stand the character herself, right? It's so far away from my type and what I like in a character that I just can't stand up. I can't stand playing her, and have nothing to do with Karen herself. If you like Karen, that's great. Everyone has their own opinions. I'm just saying, like for me, at least being able to have tolerance to the character and being accepting of them is important. So this is the first part. The second part is the character play style. Usually characters are either rush down, or they are zoning, or they are grapplers. Like these are the three main archetypes, and the characters usually fall somewhere in between. Some characters you will find to be a jack of all trades, like for example Nikali is a little bit of everything, Chun-Li is a little bit of everything. Usually you as a player, I would actually recommend, if you're starting out with the games, I would actually recommend trying out different characters from each class. You have to find what do you actually like. You will never be as good as a zoner or as good as a rushdown or as good like as grappler. You will have different abilities. Think of it as like your skill points out of 10. Like in my opinion personally, I think I have decent neutral. So for example, if I call like my neutral game, I think my neutral game is like a 7 out of 10, right? My grappling game is, I would say, a 5 out of 10, and my zoning game might be like a 6 out of 10, right? So I do think I'm well rounded. I don't skew heavily into any of the directions. So for me, someone like Chun Li, who is a well rounded character, or like Cody, who's a well rounded character, these characters for me are very appealing, right? Because they are a jack of all trades. But I would actually recommend trying out the different characters. It's very helpful to try out zoning characters, rush down character, grappling characters. You wanna check out, like, because you never know what you're capable of until you try it, right? Like they say, you never know it until you try it. So I would actually recommend, if you're starting out, trying out the different archetypes, right? So see what you like and what you don't like. And finally, and this is a very interesting topic, the idea of the character strengths and weakness. And this is something that you have to rely on you need some experience to be able to break down and understand. You have to think, what did you do good as a player, and will that benefit you with this character or not? For example, I have to consider myself and how I see myself. I think that I have, like I said, I think I have decent neutral, like the Wave Punish game and everything. I don't think I'm fantastic, but I'm okay. I think that my rush down is okay. I don't think I'm like really really good at pressure. I think that my anti-airs are good. I think anti-airing is actually my best attribute as a player, and I think my defense is actually kind of weak. I don't like my defense, right? So, for example, these are my different attributes. So, when I end up choosing a character for me, let's say, for example, let's talk about a character like Chun-Li. Chun-Li is a character that play to my strength while also covering my own weaknesses. For example, Chun-Li have really, you kind of have to choose your anti-airs with Chun-Li. She's a character where you kind of have to choose your anti-airs, but since I am myself am a good player at anti-airing in my own opinion, she kind of works out because my strengths will kind of work with the character weakness, right? Like my own strengths will kind of, okay, Chun-Li is like 6 out of 10 at anti-airs, and I'm an 8 out of 10, we average at a 7, so that is nice, right? She have very good defense. Chun-Li, I think, have like a 9 out of 10 defense in this game. So if I think my defense is like a 4 or a 5 out of 10, Chun-Li will kind of carry me in the defensive area, right? And that's why, and that's how it kind of works. You want to check out a character where their weaknesses are not crippling you as a player, while at the same time their strengths are helping you. For me, for example, a character like, say, someone like Cammy. Cammy is a character I never actually was able to make the most out of. I never got Cammy. Even though everyone says that Cammy is a very easy character to play, she just never worked for me. And I think part of the reason for that is Cammy's strongest attribute is rush down, it's offense, right? But me as a player, I'm not that good at that, right? So maybe we average at a decent grade. She does, of course, have really good defense and everything, but I don't know. I was never like into the dive kick. My dive kick game and aerial game is generally not that strong. I like to play grounded, so I wasn't taking advantage of the character strengths. On the other hand, you might have someone like Poison. Poison, I think, is a stronger character than Chun-Li, right? I do think Poison in this season is stronger than Chun-Li. But me personally, as a player, my results are better with Chun-Li. And even though Chun-Li is technically not stronger, Chun-Li is more my type. She is the character that fits me the most, and I understand that. Like, I understand that Chun-Li is my character. Cody is a very good character. I love him. Like, if I love Cody the most as a character, but like I said, for me, Cody's weakness is bad defense, and I myself have bad defense as a player, in my opinion. So, it's like his weakness is my own weakness as a player, so I don't do as well with Cody as I wish I could, because his weakness is sadly also my weakness, so it's like adding two and two. While, for example, Chun-Li have such good defense that even if her offense isn't that amazing, I can make it work the most. And that's why, like, when I go into a tournament or like a big match, like Chun-Li is my Pikachu. Even though there is nothing like, even though I can play better characters, this is like my bread and butter. This is the character I believe in the most, and I believe in myself the most when I play with them, right? And that's basically what I wanted to talk about. Basically, try to check out different archetypes. You at least have to like your own character. You at least want to have a character that plays to your strengths, and you don't share the same weakness with that character. If you, for example, as a player struggle with fireballs, and you are playing a character who also struggle with fireballs, you're gonna suffer, right? So it is something that will take some time to get, like, but once it clicks with you, you will find yourself enjoying the game a lot more and having a lot more fun with that character and with the game. And that's pretty much it from my own experience. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. Thank you very much for watching, and stay safe.